Savannah Babcock, and I'm interviewing WATE-6 sports reporter Emily Proud. Can you give a brief description of yourself and where you went to college and how you got interested in sports reporting?
Well, I went to school in Nashville, Tennessee at Belmont University. I was a soccer player there, so sports have always just been a huge part of my life. And I got involved mainly just with print journalism there. I was I was in charge of the sports department with our online newspaper. And, as I was saying earlier, I just wanted to be more well-rounded, and that's what people told me, is that you need to try to be in front of the camera. As much as I didn't want to, that's what I tried that out. Actually ended up really liking it, so it's kind of how I arrived here, and I'm from Knoxville, so of course I wanted to start my career here.
Okay, was there a specific time or event that sparked your interest in sports writing? Like a certain game you went to that really excited you or anything?
I don't know. I think it just my own. I think just being a part of it, I feel like has kind of helped me in a way that some other people outside looking in. There's something about athletes that are working so hard on the field, and then if they ever encounter problems off the field, they bring that same sort of spark. So I think I saw that with my fellow teammates and just with things that we were able to overcome. 2-point deficit with 10 minutes to go, we come back and win the game, and that sort of thing. Just being a part of it, it makes it so special, and watching other people, you can kind of watch them and be like, I remember when I had a moment like that. That was awesome.
Yeah. Were there any obstacles that you had to overcome for getting jobs or internships? Was it super hard?
Internships were tough because that's what you got to do. You have to intern. I interned 3 times because that's just I enjoyed it. My first internship, I was like, it was here actually, and it was so much fun. And so just kind of getting your name in, you really have to be proactive and be pushy to a certain extent. You have to prove to them that they want you to be there, because a lot of times people will just say, oh yeah, we'll grab interns, we'll do whatever. But some people are starting to realize now that interns can actually be very, very helpful. So a lot of times you'll see if you're not quite to the standard that they want you, and they'll kind of push you aside. So I think getting internships is difficult, and getting a job in this field is not easy. You got to send your resume out to everybody, you got to send your tapes out to everyone, you got to know people, you got to know people that know people, and then you have to, the biggest thing that I was afraid of doing was using contacts. I always thought oh, my mom knows this person, I want to get a job on my own. But you can't be like that. You have to be able to, people that you know will get you in, but your work will help you stay. So you got to be okay with using some connections for sure.
Interesting. Okay, what skills do you think would make a successful sports reporter?
Someone that can wear a lot of different hats. As I was saying earlier, that's the big thing is, you got to be able to be a photog and be behind the camera on a rainy day. You got to be able to be in front of the camera and look nice in 10 minutes after you were just the one behind the camera. And you have to be able to produce, you have to be able to edit, you have to be able to shoot. But the biggest thing is kind of what I was saying earlier, is to be able to be a good storyteller. You do that in everything that you do. Producing may seem, not a whole lot of storytelling when it's in terms of just stacking what order you want things to go in your show, but it is. If it comes together and it flows, then it tells a good story. And same thing with shooting. You think it's oh well, there's a fire, all I have to do is just shoot it, but it's the way you tell it. You do some different angles, you find the people that were affected by the fire. So I think that's a really big trait, is to be able to tell a story in every aspect.
So do you think that in this field you need to be more individualistic, or do you think being a team member would be more helpful? Since you only see one person in front of the camera.
Being a team is huge. The other day, they told me an hour before a live shot that I was going to go live, and I was currently at basketball practice, and being that behind the camera person, so I was like, oh, I got to go do this. And they wanted me to go live in a circumstance where I would throw to a soundbite from players that we heard earlier that day. So my boss was cutting stuff for me while I was the one getting my makeup on and going out and being in front of the camera. So things switch, and you have to be able to work together and be a team. And especially a lot of times you are just one person in front of the camera, but you're working together. You're throwing out to so and so in the field who tosses it back to this person in the studio, and it's a lot of teamwork. And if you're individualistic, that's the worst thing you can be in this field, because you need to make connections, you need to make friends, and be able. That's how you get stories, is by knowing people.
Besides needing good teamwork skills, Emily gives future sports journalists more advice on how they can become successful as well.
Yeah, intern like crazy. And like I was telling you guys earlier, we didn't have a broadcast school. So, take advantage of the resources that you guys have, but intern. You don't know until you get out here. You can go and test around and do some fun stuff on your own, and that will really help, but until you are actually here and see the day-to-day, one, that will tell you if this is really actually what you want to do, and two, it'll show you how to do it.